Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle. It's Monday the 14th of August 2023. It certainly doesn't feel like a Monday here in Bangkok because it's a holiday here in Thailand. Saturday was Mother's Day, which is a national holiday usually, but since it fell on the weekend we have a substitution day today. It's very quiet. I went shopping today. It feels so much like a Sunday, it really does. And it is extremely hot outside, really burning up hot outside again. Seems to be almost every day. Another country that suffers from excessive heat and unfortunately from excessive violence at times is Brazil. Now, President Lula has been in office for a while, not that long. He needs time to get things going, I guess. But one area that definitely needs looking at is the police violence in the favelas. Another kid died a couple of days ago, and apparently this is the 9th or 10th child under the age of 14 to have been killed in police raids in the favelas. What to be done? I mean, you know, they need to look humanely at the problem. A new solution needs to be found to this problem in these favelas in Rio and other cities. Not just sending the police to gun citizens down. It doesn't work, for one thing, because people are still getting in trouble and the drug problem still exists, etc. But also, like, the way of looking at people, you know, just because they're poor doesn't mean that they don't have any human rights or anything like that. Okay, let's get on with the game of Sudoku. Now, this is a beginner level game, I assume. It's Monday. That's an easy level game in the Guardian. So I shall explain the rules and I shall say welcome to newcomers to the game of Sudoku. Okay, you've never played the game before. Don't worry. I'll explain very quickly. It doesn't take long to learn. We have 9 squares in this row across. We have 9 squares in this row across, and every single row across this 9x9 grid, we have 9 squares down in each column. Now you can see in this column we have digits 3, 5, 1, 4 and 7. Quite a lot of numbers here, and this is completely blank. We don't have any numbers here. The object of the game is to fill each square with a number, lowest number 1, highest number 9. Obviously there are 9 squares. And that's the end of the puzzle. But I forgot to mention that also, not only do we have the rows and the columns, but we also have these sections, these blocks as I call them, of 3x3, 3 squares across 3 squares in a row, small row, 3 squares in a small column here. And so again, we're looking for digits 1 to 9 like this. So it's nothing to do with maths, it's simply a game of logic. So when I draw some blue lines up from these 5s, what does it mean? It means that we already have 5 in this column. Now, since there are only 9 squares, each number can appear only once in its row, column or block. So we have 5s this 5 blocking all the way to the top here, this 5 blocking all the way to the top. So in this section up here, this block up here, we cannot have 5 in this square or this square or this square or this square. And I hope that you've noticed and are ahead of me already that we have a 5 across here which blocks across this row. So it means that this square can't be 5. We've already got a 6 in this square, so we can't put more than one number in to a cell or a square. So that's the location where 5 lives. We know that it's a 5. It can't possibly be anything else because in Sudoku there is only one solution. Okay. Right, what else do we know? Well, looking at the 5s, we can say this time let's bring the 5 across here. When I say bring it across, I mean I'm looking at blocking squares that are blocked. And this 5 blocks all the way across here to the right. And again, in this section here, this block here, there's only one empty square. So we know that the 5 goes there. Let's continue and use that 5 that we just placed, because this is what we need to do, of course. We narrow down our focus when we place a digit. That's going to be a 5 in that square. Now the 5's going across like so. Oops, I held down the wrong key on the keyboard. That means that is going to be a 5 there. And now we have 5 in this block here, this block, this, and this. There's only one block left where we don't have a 5, but the logic of Sudoku is such that you can always find that final digit. If you've got 8 of a particular number, you can find the 9th here on the grid always, right? So that now we have finished our digit 5. We've got all of the 5s that are placed on this board. Now we're not looking for digit 5 anymore. Other things, but not digit 5. Now in this row along the bottom there are 2 empty squares, right? Here and here. And when we look and see what we don't yet have, we find that the missing numbers are 1 and 6. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. So the numbers that have to fit into these 2 squares could only be 1 or 6. Now I hope that you've noticed either this 6 here or this 6 up here. Both of them in fact block this square here. So can this be a 6? No. This must be our 6 over here, and this will be the only remaining number, which is a 1. Okay, so that's how we play the game. So I hope you've got an idea now on the logic involved, the type of logic involved. So we've got 6 over here blocking all the way up to the top, and we've got 6 here blocking to the top, and we've got 6 going across here, which will put 6 into that square. And we can't do any more. Yes, we can. Tell a lie. We can do the 6s like this. 6 goes here. But we can't do any more for 6. If you look at what's possible for 6, we're actually going to find that it's possible. We have 2 more 6s to place. 1 in this block, 1 in this block. And we have this kind of pattern like this. So if 6 appears here, 6 will be in that square as well. But if 6 appears in this square, 6 will be in that square there. At the moment, we just don't know. We have to wait a bit longer to find out. Right, so I'm sorry for the slight delay. I don't play these games ahead of time. I have no idea of what the answer actually is. I don't practice or anything like that before starting the game. Let's have a look at the 1 blocking up here and the 1 going across here like this, which will give us a 1 in that square. And the 3 blocking all the way across here, which will put a 3 into that square. And we'll continue with the 3s going across like this. If I can hold down the right key on the keyboard, and the 3 going up here. So in this block here, that's got to be our 3. And back for the 2 up here and 2 down here means that that is going to be a 2 here. Now there are 2 empty squares for this block. What's missing is 4 and 9. So if we look up and down the columns for a 4 or a 9, we might get help. Yes, we see a 4 here. So we know this can't be 4. So we know that the 4 is going to be here, and the 9 is going to be in this square. Now we have 9 blocking across and across like this, which will put the 9 here. Or you could just say 9 blocks everything in this block here, right? So these squares can't be 9, and now we just need a 9 to complete this row. It will give you the same answer. And that's an important thing to understand, is that there are often multiple solutions or ways of finding the answer to Sudoku. We have 7 blocking across here and 7 blocking down here, so that's going to put 7 into that square there. 7 blocking across here means that that's a 7. 7 going up here and up here will give us 7 in that square there. And again, we're stuck on 7s. We've got 2 more 7s to place, either here and here, or here and here. For the moment, we don't know. We'll just hold off on that. Now in this block here we don't yet have a 2 or an 8, and when we see the intersecting 8 we know that the 8 must go in that square, and that will leave us with the only one option of a 2 here. And if we look at this column now, we'll see we're just one short of the whole series. In fact, we don't have digit 1, and so we know that the 1 must fit there. Hope you're following along with this. Now there's only one number missing for this row here, and the missing number is 4. We don't yet have a 4 in this row. We've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's our 4 then. Okay, now here's a little trick. In this row there are only 2 empty squares, right? And we know that it has to be 1 or 2 to fill up this row, right? 1 and 2 are missing. Now actually in this square here is also part of a pair or a missing 2 missing numbers in the in this column as well. So this square here is a part of one of 2 digits, put it like this, one of 2 digits in these 2 squares, but it's also one of 2 digits in these 2 squares, and they must be the same. So if the missing numbers here are 1 and 2, right, to fill up this row or this block, but this row in particular, 1 and 2, when we look at this now, this column must also be missing 1 and 2 because there are only 2 empty squares, right? So the 2 blocks here like this, so we know that that is going to be the 2, and this will be the 1, and that will be the 1. Now we have one. If that was too fast, just go back and watch it again. It's once you've got that kind of idea, you'll go, oh yeah, I get it. It's really not that tough. 7 now blocks down here. That gives us a 7 in that square. 7 blocks across here, and that finishes the 7s. We now have 7s in every one of our small blocks. The missing number here now is a 9, and in this column now we're missing 1 digit. We don't yet have a 4, so let's put that in. Now here's something. So look, what numbers go here? It's going to be a 4 and a 2. Now do we know which is which? We look across here. No, we don't have any 2s or 4s. Okay, don't know that, but we do know something interesting now. If this is 4 here, right, it means that we cannot have 4 blocking up there. So in particular I'm focusing on this square here. It can't be 4 because we have 4s blocking across like this. So we know that because 4 is here or here, it forbids any of these 3 squares from becoming a 4, and so the 4 will go there. Now we also have a 2 in one of these. This is also 2 and 4, wasn't it? So now the 2 is going to block all the way up there. These 3 squares can't be 2. We know that the 2 is going to appear there. Okay, and then the 2 that we just placed in this 2 here will give us 2 back on this side over here. Right, what's left to go? Okay, here's an interesting thing. There are 3 empty squares in this row. The missing numbers are 1, 8 and 9. We've got everything else, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 8 and 9 must be the numbers that go in these three empty squares, 1, 8 and 9. Now when we look down here, we see we have a 1. And if we look further down in this column, we see we have an 8. Those are 2 of our missing numbers. So this square here, can it be 1? No. Can it be 8? No. Then in that case it has to be the only other alternative, which is 9. So we know that the 9 goes there. Now we've only got 2 digits over 2 empty squares, so we see the 1 blocking here, so we know that the 1 is there, and we know that the 8 must be in that square there. Now we have 8 blocking up here, which gives us 8 in that square. 8 across here and 8 up here means that's the final digit, 8. Here we are just 1 number short. We need a 3 to complete that. Now 3 blocks across here, which will give us 3 in this square here, and up here we still need a 9, so we'll place the 9, and then the 9 will block across here and give us 9 in that square there. 9 blocking down. Oops. And 9 blocking across here means that that must be our final digit, 9. Missing numbers up here. 1 is one of them. 1 block's up here, so that gives us the 1 in that square. And the missing number here is a 6. Like I said, if any of this is too fast, just go back and watch it again. 6 will be in this square here now. In this column down here, we don't yet have a 4, so let's place the 4. The 4 then blocks across here and gives us the 4 here. And this will be a 2. And in fact, we need a 2 to finish the row, the column, and the block. There she blows. So that's our beginner level puzzle for Monday. Every Monday has a very easy puzzle. There are plenty of old easy level games for you to practice with, so go back and check some out. Bye bye.